Hey guys, I'm Pete from DIYMAN, and this is the intro to part number 3 of our fishing lure challenge. In the previous 2 sections I was getting up to the design, and we ended the second part in the painting of, or the base painting of the lure. In this part I've finished the paint job. I add in the eyes for our lure and all the little details and extra bits and pieces, and then the final lure. Please hang around, check out how I did it step by step, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So the idea is to, now that I have painted on the purple on the back, and I think I might come back after a while and just add in maybe another layer or two. It depends. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use the silver. I'm going to get the whole, all of the sides, the belly, and afterwards to basically take the blue and sort of like put little blotches on it, just sort of like underneath the purple, in between here, just to give it that sort of like scaled effect. So let's get into that. I attempted a paint job on my little lure, but it backfired completely. Using this mesh, when I tried to remove it, it smeared everything all over the lure. So I ended up repainting or re-polishing it with the silver. But what I noticed is that when the blue came onto the purple, it actually gave quite a cool effect. So what I have decided is that I'm going to put a single layer of my blue nail polish on the top of my lure over the purple. So this is basically the effect that I'm going to get. And I think the underlying purple gives this blue a very, very dark appearance. And then when the blue is being used on the silver in my next attempt, it will create a very, very brilliant contrast in terms of the blue. So yeah, you can clearly see even over there, the blue on the silver is a completely different color. So as I'm going over here, it is touching on the silver and creating quite a nice blue. So I'll definitely use this blue on the silver to try and create some resemblance to scales in my next attempt. But for now, this blue is actually very, very nice on the purple. So I'll let that dry, and then I will give it my next attempt on the lures, or on the scales of this lure. I'll make sure, touching it up everywhere. I want to get it nice on every part. There we go. A nice dark purple blue sheen. And when this is combined with the blue on the silver, it will look really, really cool. So this is what I've got. I made a small little punch, if you like. So just the shape, almost like a drop. And what I'm going to do is very, very simple. Dip it into the nail polish and then just stamp it out as I'm going. Creating the effect of scales. The nice thing about it is that the scales are almost just forming the shape, and at certain points I've got lighter and darker ones. What makes it quite cool is that it creates a almost natural effect. When you don't want something where the scales are so perfect that it almost looks unnatural, this will also create the illusion that it is glimmering in the water. There we go. Just pop a little bit over there. Like that. I'll now do the other side. The one thing that I've been having a lot of difficulty with in this quarantine period was to get proper little eyes, and finally today Amazon delivered my 3D eyes for the lures, and they come from the 6mm set all the way through, believe it or not, to these tiny little 3mm. So it's the first time that I'm sort of like playing around with them. I'm not 100% sure of how they work, whether they are stick-on eyes. So opening them up, it would appear as if I have to use super glue. Oh, shucks. Or not. So clearly they are sticky. So I'll just grab this one over here and we will put it onto our fish immediately. I don't think that's exactly the spot. I think a little bit to the front. Yeah, I think that would be a good spot for it. So I'm going to stick that one over there. That will still give me some nice area to put in for my gill plates. Let me see if I can actually get this one off. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so I'll put it on this side. Figure around about there. Just see that I get it sort of like in the right spot. I think I've got this one the other way around. So I'm just going to turn it around a little bit more. Yeah. Move this back a little bit. I think the best view is to actually get it from the top. To at least get them in line. There and there. So that's the one side. That's the other side. I think that's the ideal. So yeah, there we go. These are the 6 millimeter eyes on it, and you can see it is fantastically shiny. That 3D effect is just phenomenal. Okay, cool stuff. Next up, what I'll do is I will draw in the gill plates. For that, as per usual, I'll simply use a Sharpie permanent marker, and I'll do that next. As you can see, what I've done is I've just taken a very fine liner pen and just sort of like drawn out where I think the gill plate should lie. Obviously, I'll go over it with a permanent marker that is just a little bit thicker, and just make it a little bit clearer. So basically, what I'm thinking is sort of like coming around here, very straightforward, and then coming up. That edge might be a little bit sharp, but yeah, I've got it drawn in like that, coming around, and then just do the little scoop or sweep at the bottom there, something along those lines. So I think from a gill plate perspective, this is not looking too bad. So yeah, all I'll be doing now is I'll be using the thicker permanent marker, making especially the outer gill plate a lot thicker, and just putting a thin permanent marker line onto the inner one there. And I think that would basically complete this fish. Then it can go into the polyurethane just to seal it completely and give it that hard gloss look. For the last part of this video, what I'm going to do is I am going to paint in the little side fins. I've already drawn them in with the fine liner pen. The problem with the fine liner pen is that that ink would actually, or ends up running, so it's not a very effective tool. It can make nice markings, but that's about it. So again, I'll be switching over to the nail polish, and a little bit of thinner brush. There we go. That's the one side. Did it similar on the other side. So just a quick there we go. And that's it. Now this little fish is ready to go into the polyurethane after it's dried for a few minutes, and then to the water. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Now you've basically seen how I produced a lure from start to stop as a novice, somebody that doesn't even own a fishing rod. Hopefully in the not so distant future we can actually go out there and catch some fish with this lure, but I'll keep you updated. In the meantime, if you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and the little bell icon. And if you have any advice, or if you want to share your process or little tips, please do it in the comment. Hope to see you soon again. Cheers, cheers.